welcome to today's video. This video is part of my Declutter series where I go through my collection, throw away expired products. And when I declutter, I will not throw away anything that's usable. I will give those to friends and family. I will only throw away the things that have expired. Now, I've been doing these declutters with different brands, and today we are decluttering NYX Cosmetics. I've done Essence, Wet n Wild, Catrice, Elf Cosmetics, and Physicians Formula. And I'm going to continue these brand-related declutters. And today we're going through what I got in my NYX collection, and let's get into decluttering. So these are the NYX items currently in my collection. I know I have less NYX than I had other brands, and I'm honestly a little bit surprised. I feel like I probably have NYX items somewhere that I didn't find them, but I think this is majority of them. I did declutter my NYX lip products like a year ago, or a little over a year ago, so that explains partially why I have less of them. But let's start with my absolute favorite NYX product. As you can see, I have 3 epic ink liners here, actually 4, one is opened. And I have a backup, a backup's backup, and then a backup's backup here. And that's because this is simply my most used, my favorite liquid liner, and I've never come across another one nearly as good as this one. It is a brush tip liner. It slides in so smoothly. It never tugs or pulls. I've never ever had any issues with this one, and I've tried plenty of eyeliners, some high end, and yet this epic ink liner is my favorite. Now, in all honesty, I don't need 3 backups, so I'm definitely going to put that on hold, purchasing more backups, but I think it is an amazing liquid liner. I highly recommend it to anyone, and I think it's so beginner friendly. So if you've been maybe struggling to create the perfect wing, try the NYX Epic Ink Liner. I think you might be pleasantly surprised how easy creating the wing is. Now, I do see some products that have got to go because they are simply too old. Here is the NYX Pore Filler. It is actually dried up when I was like, there wasn't much left, but what is left is no longer in any shape or form usable. This Hydra Touch one is also very old. I'm gonna let go of that one. I just never really got into it. And I feel like my moisturizers did the same job as this one, so I rarely ended up using it. So both of these are leaving my collection just because they're so old. And then I have the glitter primer. This one is a little old too, but I have not used it, so I'm gonna hold on to it and see if it's still usable. This is a really good primer if you do like to use glitter looks. The reason why I haven't used it is because I used to do a lot of these fancy looks on Instagram that I no longer have time for, but maybe someday I'll be able to do those, but this is perfect for that, so definitely holding on to this one. Then I have the Hydra Touch Oil Primer. I have not used this a lot, but I need to, so I'm gonna put this on my vanity and hold on to it for now. I think it's still usable even though it's a little bit older. It is a really good oil primer for dry skin. This one, however, the Honey Dew Me Up, I'm gonna let go of. I tried this a few times, but I just couldn't make it work. There is little gold flakes in it. Those didn't show up on my skin, so if that's something you're concerned about, I don't think that's really the issue. It just didn't do much for me, so I'm gonna see if a friend would like this one. And this one I'm keeping. I am also keeping the Dewy Finish setting spray. Once upon a time, I didn't have as dry of a skin, and I used to love the NYX Finish sprays, the regular or maybe matte version. So I used that on my forehead to control some slight oiliness there. I don't have any oiliness anymore, but I do have dryness, so I'm gonna keep using this one. I feel like I haven't used it in a while, so I have to test it if it's still any good, but I do remember really liking it, and I am holding on to it. Now, 2 things that I am letting go of are these 2 baked eyeshadows. I have them in the shade Kush and then Love Junkie. These were simply not NYX's best formula. I think they're super dry, and I could never get like a decent color payoff from them on my eyelids. Also, they are quite old. I think I got them on sale on NYX's website, but This formula is just so dry. I don't like this kind of formula anymore. I have also dry eyelids, so I definitely need something a little bit creamier. So I'm gonna let go of both of these. I think they're too old also, so I'm not gonna pass these on. Another product that wasn't my favorite from NYX is this blush, and this one is in the shade Pinky. And I don't know what it is, but I feel like all the things that are in this kind of boxy packaging are just not my favorites. This one's okay, but I don't love it. It's not worth me keeping it. I think it's also a drier formula, and I feel like it just disappears on my skin. I'm gonna see if a friend would like to try it. I think it's still usable. It's just not my favorite formula, so I'm gonna let go of it. So I also see a couple of products that are really old. They are these jumbo eye pencils, and these used to be all the rage back in the day. I have it in white and then I have it in black, and now that I look at it, this white one is unopened, so I'm gonna hold on to that one. It is a great base if you want to use colorful eyeshadows, maybe a base for glitter with the glitter primer. All around a good product. This black one is probably super old. I've opened it. This one's old too, but I might be able to use it. I'll see once I open it if it still works, but this black one is so old it has to go. I use that underneath darker shades to kind of add depth to it. For example, sometimes since I have such pale skin, if I add a darker eyeshadow, it may not look as dark as I want it to. So I added this on my eyelid and then the eyeshadow, and that worked great. So I might be repurchasing this at some point. This is in the shade Black Bean and this is in Milk, and that is one of NYX's classic formulas and definitely worth the money. So I'm gonna hold on to the one that hasn't been opened and let go of the old opened one. Another one of NYX's classic eyeshadow formulas is this one, and this is in the shade Girl Talk. And I believe people used to use this as a highlighter too. It was just, I think it went viral like years and years ago on YouTube, and everyone loved it. And it still looks pretty good. I think I'll be able to still use it. I don't know how old it is though, so I might test it out to see if it's still usable, but all around a great classic NYX color. And I know they still sell eyeshadows, single eyeshadows in this packaging, so maybe this one is still good to go. I know they have really good ones. I think one of their green ones went viral like a year ago too, so definitely a good formula for NYX. It is beautiful, it is slightly creamy, and I can see myself repurchasing some of these at some point. Speaking of NYX eyeshadows, I have a couple here. They're a little dusty, which explains that I have not used them in a while, but this one is their Ultimate Multi-Finish Shadow Palette, and they had several of these, and I believe I had another one at one point, but I decluttered it already because I ended up not using it. But this one, I think this one, yeah, this one is in the shade Warm Rust. This one was definitely the better formula. I think not all of these types of palettes were created equal. This one, the formula was just superb, and let me just swatch a couple of these shades for you so you'll see. I mean, look at that pigmentation. This one is this one, slightly powdery, but this shade, for example, isn't that the kind of rosy tones that are super in right now? I'm definitely holding on to this, and I'll have to put this on my vanity so I'll get some use out of it, because I think this is perfect fall color story. So maybe this fall I'll get some more use out of it, but I did love it a lot when I got it, and I can see the formula hasn't changed. It's still amazing. The other palette I have here is NYX Happy Birthday palette, and I want to say I got this as an Ulta perk maybe. I can't remember, but this is quite old too, has to be like several years old, and this color story is pretty average. I think I have a ton of palettes just like this. Let's see if the formula is any good. Well, it seems like it is still an okay formula. I don't remember using this as much. I maybe created a couple of looks. This is just such a basic palette that I had so many of these, but I'm gonna see if a friend would like to try this out. It is a decent color story, like I said, and for someone who doesn't have a ton of eyeshadow palettes, I think this color story is very wearable. You can create some daytime looks and evening looks. So when I got this as a birthday perk, I thought that was a really good one. I hope Ulta brings back these kind of birthday perks because this one was a really good one, but I'm gonna see if a friend would like it, so I'm gonna declutter it. I am also decluttering this one. It says Colourpop, and you can probably guess since it's in this packaging that it's quite old. It used to have Colourpop eyeshadows in it, but I've added some NYX singles in this. And these were actually quite nice for travel from Colourpop. So even though I think these came with like 4 eyeshadows, and those are long gone. They were no good anymore. So I did let go of those, but these are from NYX, and these were in a Christmas calendar a long time ago. I want to say like 2017, 2018. So it's been a while, and I don't know if these are any good, but let me swatch a couple of them. So I really did like NYX's Christmas calendars. I thought they were really good. You got eyeshadows and you got some lip products as well. Well, I think some of these have expired. I think that blue used to be very vibrant. I could barely get some color out of these. So I'm gonna let go of them. I think they are just too old. And this one is not a NYX eyeshadow. I'm not sure what it is, but it's probably super old too. So I'm gonna let go of these eyeshadows, but I'm keeping this Colourpop palette because I can add some more singles in it. Now I don't have a lot of NYX complexion products other than primers, but I do have one Duochromatic illuminating powder, and this one is in the shade Lavender Steel, and this has broken and I've glued it. Well, I've used tape to put it back, but this is a beautiful highlighter. I don't own anything quite like it. It is simply beautiful. I don't think the light is catching it quite right now, but it is a stunning highlighter. I'm definitely gonna hold on to it. I don't use it as much as I used to because I used to create those fancy looks and it was perfect for those, but it is beautiful. So if you're looking for this kind of lilac-y, pinky tone highlighter, this is definitely one to try out. It is a great formula. Let's see what I have in here. I have a couple of brow products. This is an unopened brow setter. Then I have some lip products. So let's see the brow products first. I have here the Precision Brow Pencil, and this one is in the shade Espresso. This has a spoolie on the other end, and then there is the brow pencil, and this is a little bit dark for me, but for Instagram I sometimes use this because taupe colors that I typically use look very light in photos, so I'm holding on to this for photos. I also have, this one is Sculpt and Highlight Brow Contour, and this one is in the shade Espresso as well, and the other shade is light beige. This is the same shade, but I do like this brow highlighter part. So here it is, and if you're fixing your brows, you add this a little bit to highlight the brow or define it, and I think it works great for that. So I'm holding on to both of these. I think NYX makes excellent brow pencils. So this one is their Bear With Me Cannabis Sativa Seed Oil Brow Setter. I have not opened this. I believe this is a sample that I've gotten with something. So I'm going to put it into use and see what it's like. I don't typically need a brow setter. So I think I'm actually going to see if a friend wants this because this is not a product that I use. Now for the lip products, I have a couple of unopened ones. This is the Epic Ink Lip Dye in the shade Fresh. I have not opened this one, so I'm going to hold on to it and see what the formula is like. I'm wondering if this is super old. I also have this one. This is part of their lip cream series. I did declutter all of my lip creams. This one is unopened in the shade Skin Tone. This probably isn't my skin tone, but I might be able to use it, so I'm gonna hold on to it. This lip butter, however, is too old. It's changed a little bit, so I'm gonna let go of it. This one is in the shade Lifeguard, a little bit of a brick red shade. I do like this formula, this butter lipstick though. It is very hydrating. If you have dry lips, I think you might really like it, but I'm gonna let go of it just because it's too old. And then I have one of their extra creamy lipsticks in the shade Rose Bouquet. This one is not my favorite shade. It's kind of a frosty pink. I think it's old too. It looks a little bit like it's changed, so I'm gonna let go of it. I don't know why I got this shade because this doesn't seem like this kind of Barbie frosty pink isn't the type that I use, but I may have gotten it in a subscription bag, but I'm gonna let go of it. I don't remember if I like this extra creamy lipstick formula because I think I only have this one and this shade was just so off. So let's see what I am keeping and what I'm decluttering. So these were all the NYX products in my collection, give or take a few that I could not locate. Now I had 27 products altogether. I counted these eyeshadows as one, and I am letting go of 12 and keeping 15, which I think is a really good ratio. I'm keeping a little bit more than I'm letting go of, and that is absolutely fine. I spend my money on these products, so I do want to get use out of them. I'm never going to declutter just for declutter's sake. A lot of these decluttered products are no longer usable, but the ones that are still usable, I am going to see if a friend would like to try them. And the ones that I'm keeping, I am going to add some of them to my vanity just so I'll get use out of them. For example, the primer and the setting spray, and some of them I'm keeping just to see if it's still usable. If not, then I'll throw it away. Same goes for those lip products. But NYX makes some amazing products, and like I said, these Epic ink liners, my absolute favorite NYX product. Lately I haven't been purchasing too many NYX products. It's because I've cut down my spending considerably and I've tried to curate my collection better. It's got nothing to do with NYX as a brand not interesting me. I do think they still make excellent products, but right now I'm really happy that I'm decluttering about half of my NYX collection. Are there any NYX products that you really enjoy, or some NYX products that were a disappointment to you? Let us know in the comment section. Are there any NYX products that you would like me to try or you recommend to me? I would definitely appreciate any suggestions. I always love to try on new makeup. But these were all my NYX Cosmetics products at this time. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, I hope you subscribe. And if you like these kind of declutter videos, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.